It's not about getting someone else to do anything for you. It's about you doing it and being in the driving seat right from the very first moment. We can't do anything by studying it from afar or learning about it and then trying to apply it. We have to throw ourselves in at the deep end. And the problem is that most religion and spirituality just doesn't tell us about that. It gives us a rehearsed method from a tradition that may well have worked a long time ago in the past, but it doesn't work now, or it only works for the person who invented it. Meanwhile, you have your own source connection, and it is uniquely calibrated just for you to go direct to purity and nothing else. How about that? And how many people actually tell you that as well? And then the thing about that is that if you've got your own source connection, you've got to use it yourself and find out for yourself how it works. And the very lucky thing is that even though you have a very unique calibration that is just for you with your source connection, everybody has their own source connection. And in general, a source connection does work in the same way for every single person. There are certain things that nature has as its way of working, which is common to everyone, because everybody has a source connection in relation to their body, and your body is controlled by nature. It's not controlled by you, it's not controlled by your mind, and it's not controlled by anybody else either, unless you give your power away. So if you know the way that nature works in relation to your source connection, your unique setting or your unique access point and calibration will work perfectly for you in your case. So what is this way that nature works with source connection? Well, it's a little bit like the way that children operate. They're very sensitive to any artifice, anybody muscling in or telling them what to do, anybody just pressuring silently or crowding, any interference whatsoever. In fact, the way that nature works is that it needs a very open space to do exactly what it knows how to do itself. So there's no instruction needed. There's no pre-knowledge needed, just no interference. And that's very different from meditation, right? Because meditation is all about, okay, observe your breath, do this, do that, etc., according to an esteemed teacher. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's very different from how your source connection works. Meditation is meditation. And if you want to do that, absolutely no problem. Nobody's going to tell you not to, or I'm not anyway. But that is something quite apart from what we're talking about, which is how your source connection works according to nature. Your source connection works by you not getting in the way. So your job is simply to turn up and not change anything. So there won't be any trying to slow down your breath or do some counting or try to focus on an image in your imagination and hold it there. There won't be any artifice or any pre-arranged way of doing anything. So it sounds simple on the one hand, just to say, well, you don't change anything, but then your mind starts speeding up and going, well, what exactly does that mean? I don't change anything, so how do I not change anything? Or is not doing anything actually a method? You see how your thinking mind starts to really rev up and come with all these distractions. And this is part of the art of it. You have a mind, okay? and your mind chats all day long in most people's cases. And that's absolutely fine. We are not going to try to make the mind be anything different from what it already is. So if your mind is chatting, no problem. You don't change the chat. And if you suddenly hear inside you, oh, I'm not sure if this is right or not, you realize that's your mind. And that's okay. It's about spotting the voice and not being bothered. And even if you are bothered, you don't change that either. So there's a stillness that goes on in your way of doing things. Normally, we jump up to answer the phone. If something is burning on the stove, we change the setting so the flame goes down and nothing boils over. Here, we just don't do anything, whatever is happening, whether our mind is active or not, whether there's suddenly a big bang in the room or someone shouting or knocking on the door and we feel really disturbed. That's okay, that can happen. And even your irritation can happen. No problem. When nature has no interference and no input from your human side of wanting to take action, then all those other disturbances of the mind or someone knocking on the door, nature doesn't even notice because nature's on a different wavelength. Nature just functions its own way. It has nothing else in the way of that. And then your source connection will be directly aligned with purity because there's no other human movement trying to control. And when everything is aligned, what happens is your body naturally and automatically absorbs pure love.